let's talk about it, okay? For this first portion of our notes, it says solve the equation, justify each step, check your solution. If you looked at all three instructions, what's the one difference between the first, the second, and the third? It's this justify each step. Do you guys see that? Okay? What does that mean? What do I need to write down when I'm solving this problem? Gabby? Very good. The property of equality, whether it be addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. The cool thing is if it says justify, it's only going to be one step, okay? So you can solve that problem using one step. Let's take a look at number 2, okay? Number 2 says 8.6 equals z minus 3.8. I'm going to write it over here. 8.6 equals z minus 3.8. Guys, in one step, if I wanted to solve this, what would I do? Yep. Love it. We're going to add the 3.8 to both sides. Once we do that, what's the beauty of math? We do this, so what happens, Storm? Something beautiful happens that makes our equation a lot easier. Very good. These two cross out, and we're just left with what on the right side? Z equals. Now, who's good with adding those decimals? What is 8.6 plus 3.8? Did you get it, Lawrence? 12.4. Can we confirm? Put a thumbs up. Okay, I got the same thing. Awesome. All right, so we got 12.4 equals z. We're going to box that in. We're done, right? No, we would only get 1/3 of the points. We have to justify each step.
Can you please send Preston Ham to Student Services?
Yeah.
Thank you.
If I were to justify this, which property of equality did I use? 12.4 equals z. What property of equality did I use, Javonsky? Addition property of equality. Why? Very good. Since it was subtraction to begin with next to that z, since we added, we used the addition property of equality. Whatever you did to both sides, Sophia, that's the property of equality that you're using, okay? All right. What do I have to do as my final thing? Check it. Let's check it out. Okay, so we're going to check it. When we check it, what do I always need to remember? Yep. Parentheses. So we're going to take 8.6 equals, what do we plug in for z? 12.4 minus 3.8. Guys, what is 12.4 minus 3.8? Yep. 8.6. So 8.6 equals 8.6. Did we check it? Did it work? Yes. If it didn't work, what would we do? Go back and retry our problem again, okay? All right, so our next problem is 3 over 4p equals 18. 3 over 4p equals 18. Oof, that is a very bright color. I'm sorry, guys. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. Peeps, what, this is a tricky one, do I do to solve this problem? Alex? I'm sorry, Jordan? You are super duper close. But instead of multiplying by 3 and dividing by 4, what am I going to do? Lawrence? Yes. We're going to multiply both sides by 4 over 3. Okay? What we call this is the reciprocal. Okay? If we multiply by 4 over 3, is the 4 going to cancel? Is the 3 going to cancel? That's exactly what we wanted, is it not? Because we wanted to get rid of this entire term. Okay? We have to do that to the other side. So we're going to multiply by 4 over 3. Okay? Jordan, do you see that? You were absolutely 100% on the right track. Okay? Now that we've seen that, p is going to be by itself And we've got 18 times 4 divided by 3. Do not do 18 times 4 and then divide by 3. Before we do any multiplication, what cancels here? Does anyone see it? JL? I love it. 18 is divisible by 3, is it not? So cross out the 18 and put a 6, and cross out the 3 and put a 1.
So you divide it by 3?
Yep. We just divided it by 3. Yep, Jasmine?
Don't you put 18 over 1?
Mm-hmm. Now, if you need to add that extra step and put 18 over 1, just so you remember that it's in the numerator, be that person, okay? Put it over 1 if you're that person, okay? There's no shame in being that, okay? In doing that. So we've got 6 times 4 over 1 is just what JL said. It's 24 over 1, which is just 24. So P equals 24. I'm done, right?
No.
No. What do I need to add? Our POE. What property of equality did we use? Be careful here. What did we do to both sides? Jasmine? Very good. We multiplied. Multiplication. There's a reason I teach math and not English. Property of equality. So if I spelled that wrong, please don't judge me. Actually, I spelled it right. Go me. Okay. All right. And we would have gotten 2/3 of the points. Why? Because we didn't do what? Check it out. Let's check it out. Okay, so we're going to check it out. We're going to take that P equals 24. We're going to plug it into our original expression, which was 3 over 4. I always plug in with parentheses. So it's 24 equals 18. Okay? So, from here, before you take 3, multiply it by 24, and then divide that big number by 4, what can we do? Sophia?
Simplify it.
Excelente. How do you simplify that?
You cancel them out, so I put 3 over 1, and then 6 over 1.
I love it.
Divide them both by 3.
Very good. They are both divisible by 4. Do we see that? So before you multiply it out and then divide it, the 4 goes into 24 6 times. So we've got 6 times 3, which is?
18.
Does 18 equal 18? Yeah. Booyah! We're done. Okay, so once we subtract 10 from both sides, what happens on the right? They cancel, do they not? Okay, Diego, what's left on the right side?
On the right or the...
On the right.
It's just the V. The V.
Okay,
And then on the left, it should be -5.
excellent. Okay. All right, what do I do now? Oh, wait, no, I just solved for V, so we're good. Okay, we're going to box that in there. Hold on. We're going to box that in there. If you see something wrong, hold your tongue. We're going to box that in there. We still have to check our solution, okay? So we're going to write 5 equals 10 minus V, which is -5, okay? If you see something wrong, just hold it in. Hold it in. Hold it in. Do your best to hold it in, okay? We've got 5 equals 10. What's a minus a negative? That changes to a positive, right? So we're going to add 5. Does 5 equal 15? So my check didn't work. What does that tell me?
You did it wrong.
I did something wrong. Did anyone notice what I did wrong from the beginning? What did I do?
It's -V.
It's -V. Do you guys see that? You cannot just make this negative disappear, okay? It's got to stay with the V the whole time until you divide by -1 to get rid of it, okay? So I'm going to jump back a little bit and erase some stuff. So I'm going to erase this box because this is not my answer. You can go, Mauricio, if you want to. I'm sorry, Marcio. I'll get it right by the end of the year. Okay, so we've got -5 equals -V. What do I do? What do I do, peeps? Yep. Divide by, not just 1, -1. When I divide by -1, this is going to be +5 equals V. Juan, what's up?
You also multiply by -1?
Huh?
Multiply by...
Yeah, you can multiply by -1. However you want to do it. Just get rid of that negative, okay? Now, when we're plugging it in, instead of writing -5, what am I going to put? +5. And what is 10 minus 5? 5. So do both sides of the equation match?
Yeah.
5 does equal 5. Gucci Marucci? Gucci Marucci. Okay. If we look at number 10, how many of us are already having a full-blown panic attack because we see a fraction? 1/5 times 20x. I'm going to write it all out. If you're one of those people that's like, I know this by heart, okay? Don't write it out. You can do it in your head. Okay, this is 1/5 times 20x over 1 plus 1/5 times 50 over 1. Why does putting it over 1 not change it? Because anything divided by 1 is just that original thing, okay? And then we're going to add 2. All right. Whew. Well, from here, we've got 68 equals 1 times 20x is 20x. 5 times 1 is 5. So 20x over 5. Plus 50 times 1 is just 50, and 5 times 1 is just 5, plus 2. Question, guys. Look at the original distribution. How is that related to what we just put down over here? If you were to explain going from box number 1 to box number 2 in very, very easy terms, how would you explain it? Go for it, Zach.
You just add the 5 as the denominator.
Very good. Did we just put both of those terms over 5 and call it a day? Absolutely. Okay? The beauty of it is because this numerator is 1. Okay? That's why this becomes super duper easy. Okay? Since that numerator is 1, it's just you take the 20x, you put it over 5, you take the 50, you put it over 5, we call it a day. All right. Is 20 divisible by 5?
Yes.
How many times? 4. Okay, so we write 68 equals 4x plus, is 50 divisible by 5?
Yes.
It is?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
How many times? 10. So we got 10 plus 2. Before, I know some people are like, I want to subtract that 10 out of there, get that 10 out of there, get that 2 out of there. Before you start subtracting, can we combine anything on either side of the equation? Diego?
You can combine the 10 and 2 to make it 12.
I love to see it. We can combine the 10 and the 2 and we get a 12. So we're going to rewrite this as 68 equals 4x plus 12. Okay, Mr. Yurko. This looks like something I've done. We got it down to something we've done. No?
Yeah.
Okay, what do I do next? Be very, very, very careful here. Sophia?
Isolate the 4x.
Isolate the 4x. How am I going to do that?
Subtract 12.
Yes! Subtract 12 from both sides. I love it. I love it. See how amped up I am, guys, that we're learning? Okay, 68 minus 12 is?
56.
56. Equals?
4x.
4x. Last step. Gabby? Divide each side by 4. Guys, if you didn't know it, 56 is divisible by 4. If you did know it, what is it? JL? 14 equals x. Okay, so it had a fraction. Was it so bad?
No.
No.
Well, no.
No. Now, this one, we would be asked to check our solution, correct? If you were to check your solution, you would plug a 14 back into that equation up at the top. So you get 68 equals 1/5 times 20 times 14 plus 50 plus 2. Guys, I'm not going to ask you to multiply something as big as 20 times 14 and then add 50 to it, okay? If it's on your quiz, they're going to be nicer numbers if I'm asking you to check it, okay? What's up, Gabby?
Can we check it by starting with 68 equals 4x?
No.
No.
Nope, you got to plug it into the original. Why? Because what if you messed up in one of those steps between the first one and that one, right? You're not checking the actual answer. Jovansky, what's up?
I already finished checking it.
You did?
Yes.
Ow.
It's not that hard.
Hats off to you, dude. Okay, guys, I want you guys, number 12, I want you to write it down. We're not going to go over it in class. I want you guys, if you're still struggling with this stuff, to try it at home, okay? The answer is in that answer section on Canvas, okay? So if you're gonna go to today's assignment, you click on the answers, it'll be right there for number 12. Number 14, that's a bad boy, we're gonna take care of him. Did a light bulb go off when we're looking at this? Javansky? Why?
Okay, so distribution.
Very good. We need to distribute not just once, but how many times? Twice. That 9 needs to get distributed and the 5 needs to get distributed, okay? If we distribute the 9, someone who's very good with distribution and who's been working hard the past few days, can you walk me through the distribution process of the 9? Diego?
So you multiply is just 9y.
Okay.
And then 9 times 4, which would be 36.
Okay.
And then it's still minus 7.
Okay. Equals. And then somebody else who's very good with distribution, walk me through the 5. Yep. Kristen?
5 times the 3y, which would be 15y.
Mm-hmm.
And then minus the 5 times 2, which would be 5.
Excellent. Guys, I did make a small, very, very small error, and I want someone to point it out to me. Storm? Very good. Very good. Okay? If you saw that 36 and you were like, something doesn't feel right, you are ahead of the game. This should be a minus 36. Someone explain to me why it needs to be minus 36. Jasmine?
Because when you're multiplying, it's a -4.
Very good. There's that -4. And Andres, that always gets carried along, right? You don't just forget about it. Okay, Andres, I have a question for you. If we have 9y minus 36 minus 7y, before we start moving stuff around, what do we need to do?
We combine like terms of 9y and -7y.
Excellent. And when I combine these two, right, what do I get? 2y minus 36 equals 15y minus 10. Now we can start moving stuff around because nothing else can be combined, okay? What do you guys want to do? Preston?
Add 36.
Okay, we can add 36. Before we do that, let's take care of the y terms, though. You're absolutely right. You can add 36. If you add 36 first, you're not going to get it wrong. I just am very particular. I like to take care of the y's first, okay? If you were to take care of the y's, Preston, what would you do? Nope. Any other ideas? Jasmine? Yep. Subtract 2y. Why am I subtracting 2y? Because it's a positive. Very good. If we subtract 2y, these are going to cancel. We're going to get negative 36 equals what? 13y minus 10. Now, Preston, what do you want to do? Okay. If I told you that adding 36 would give me a 0 on the left, if I asked you to add something else, what would you add? Yep, perfect. So let's add 10 instead. That way we keep our equation balanced, okay? We don't have 0 on one side. So we've got negative 36 plus 10, and we get negative 46 equals 13y. Again, guys, I did make a small error. Does anyone notice the error? German?
You're supposed to subtract the negative 36 with the positive 10.
But it says plus 10.
Yeah, because it's different signs.
Very good. Since they are different signs, we do not add these two values. Do you guys see that? We are going to subtract them. So instead of minus 46, German, what am I going to get?
Negative 20.
And for my last and final step, Christina?
You divide negative 26 by 13.
Just that side?
No, both sides.
Excellent. We divide both sides by 13 and we get y equals, anyone know the answer? Negative 2. Okay, guys, really quickly. In this problem, are we going to get points off for not checking? No. Do I recommend that you check? Yes. Okay, but my recommendation for these types of problems is do the entire problem, go on to the next one, check this one at the very end, okay? Since it's not required for your points, you don't want to waste too much time on it, but if you have time at the end of your quiz, go back and check this one, okay? All right, you are going to have 10 questions on your quiz. The first 9 will look exactly like that, okay? It will be an equation. It'll ask you to do either all 3, find the solution, justify, and check your solution. It'll ask you to do 2, solve it, and then check it, or it'll ask you to just do 1, which is to solve it, okay? The last question is going to be a word problem, okay? That word problem, okay, before you write down this word problem, okay, just listen to my beautiful voice. It's going to be in one of these 4 forms. It's going to be x plus a number equals a number, x minus a number equals a number, and x divided by a number equals a number, or x times a number equals a number. Now, before you write anything down, okay, just read this word problem and think about which category this word problem falls into. Put your hand up if you noticed which one it falls into. Okay, Lawrence, which one do you think it falls under? Excellent. If you also agreed that it was x plus a number equals a number, this first one, you were correct, okay? Now let's set it up. What is my x in this case? Kristen? T. So instead of x, just put t. What's it being added with? What is t being added with? Yep, 25. And what's the total? Yep, 57. That's half your problem, okay? Is setting up that equation. The other half would be to solve it. How do we solve this? Andres? Minus 25 on both sides. Beautiful. And we get t equals 32. Okay, guys, copy down all 4 of the possible scenarios you could have for the word problem. Make sure you label that as the word problem. You don't have to actually write down the word problem. It's available on Canvas. And then write down what I wrote on the right, okay? So anything in black, make sure it gets into your notes.